The collapse has begun. Imagine walking into your local Walmart expecting to grab the usual groceries to get through the week. But instead of fully stocked shelves, you find aisles with gaping holes where your staples used to be. Milk? Gone. Bread? Nowhere to be found. Fruits and veggies? Barely there. It's not just an unlucky shopping day or a missed delivery. This is real. It's happening now and the chaos is spreading. We're talking about a wave of shortages and disruptions sweeping across Walmart and hitting harder than most people even realize. From fresh meat to everyday essentials, the list of missing items keeps growing. Why is this happening? What's behind the empty shelves? And most importantly, what does it mean for you and your family? We're breaking it all down in this video. We'll uncover the 6 foods that are vanishing, the reasons fueling this growing crisis, and what it means as we face a reality many never expected. Buckle up, because this isn't just another inconvenience. This is the unfolding of something much bigger. Don't go anywhere. Things are about to get real. 1. Eggs vanish from shelves. The situation with eggs has gone from bad to worse. And it's one of the most alarming shortages hitting major stores like Walmart right now. What kicked this off? A massive bird flu outbreak that struck poultry farms across the country like a tidal wave. It spread so fast and hit so hard that millions of egg-laying hens had to be culled to stop the virus from spreading further. The result? A shattered egg supply. Shelves in Walmart's egg section are often bare, and even when eggs do show up, they're in short supply with strict purchase limits. Some stores have capped it at 1 or 2 cartons per shopper, leaving frustrated families scrambling to adjust their meal plans. Eggs aren't just a breakfast staple. They're essential for baking, cooking, and meal prepping, so their scarcity has disrupted kitchens everywhere. And it's not just about availability. Prices have soared to staggering levels. Depending on where you shop, the cost of a dozen eggs has doubled or even tripled compared to just a year ago. For families on tight budgets, this kind of price hike hits hard, forcing many to cut back on egg purchases or try alternatives like powdered eggs or plant-based substitutes. But for those who love fresh eggs, there's really no perfect replacement. Behind the empty shelves and skyrocketing prices is a fragile food supply system that's now under the spotlight. Most of the country's egg production relies on massive facilities, so when one gets hit, the ripple effects are huge. Smaller producers have been overwhelmed by the surge in demand. They can't scale up fast enough to meet it. This crisis is a blunt reminder of how easily a single disruption can shake the entire system, and it's making people rethink where their food comes from. Eggs disappearing from Walmart shelves is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. Stick around, because things are far from over. 2. Frozen meals pulled from freezers. Frozen meals, a go-to for quick dinners, have taken a major hit with a recent nationwide recall. Nestle USA, one of the biggest players in frozen foods, shocked shoppers after voluntarily removing several popular products from shelves at Walmart and other major retailers. The reason? Reports of terrifying discoveries. Pieces described as hard, wood-like fragments found inside meals that should have been safe to eat. This alarming contamination wasn't isolated to one product. Favorites like lean cuisine butternut squash ravioli, spinach artichoke ravioli, lemon garlic shrimp stir-fry, and Stuffer's party-sized chicken lasagna were all caught in the recall. These are products that sit in countless family freezers, making this recall a massive deal for households across the country. The issue created real fear as these foreign materials posed serious choking hazards. Even if the meal looked fine, eating it could still put people at risk. Customers were urged to stop consuming the affected items immediately and return them for refunds. Walmart and other retailers acted quickly, pulling products from freezers and notifying shoppers about the incident. But the big question remains, how did this happen? Frozen meal production involves huge facilities and complex machinery. If even one piece of equipment breaks down, it can contaminate large batches of food. And while quality control exists, clearly there was a failure here. For many, it raised concerns about the safety of mass-produced meals. Nestle responded swiftly, which some viewed as responsible. However, critics argued that this isn't the first time foreign objects have mysteriously appeared in frozen meals. Many are now calling for stricter safety measures and better detection technology to catch problems before products hit the shelves. For consumers, the trust in frozen meals is shaken. Some have started cooking from scratch or exploring alternatives like meal kits. This contamination issue is more than an inconvenience. It's a stark reminder of how even convenience foods can come with serious risks. Could this mark the beginning of a shift away from ready-made meals? Time will tell. 3. dangerous listeria found in celery sticks. Next up, we're talking about celery sticks, but this isn't your typical snack time story. A recall of market-side celery sticks sold at Walmart left shoppers on edge, all thanks to a dangerous risk of contamination with Listeria monocytogenes. This harmful bacterium is a serious player because it can thrive in cold environments, even in your fridge. And since celery sticks are usually eaten raw, there's no cooking step to kill the bacteria before it reaches you. These pre-cut and pre-packaged celery sticks are supposed to save you time. They're popular for quick snacks, school lunches, and even meal prepping. But that convenience comes at a cost when food safety fails. Listeria can linger in production facilities, hiding out in cold storage, equipment, or even drains. Once it's in, it's incredibly tough to get rid of. Why is this contamination such a big deal? For some, listeria might cause mild symptoms, but for others, especially pregnant women, newborns, older adults, and those with weaker immune systems, this bacteria can be life-threatening. It can lead to severe infections or devastating outcomes like miscarriage and stillbirth. It's a risk no one should take lightly. Walmart acted fast, pulling the affected celery sticks from shelves and issuing warnings. Customers were told to throw the product away immediately, clean any surfaces it touched, and avoid consuming it, regardless of how fresh it looked. Thankfully, no illnesses have been officially linked to this batch yet, but the recall served as a wake-up call. This raises some hard questions. How did contamination slip through a process that's supposed to meet strict safety standards? Was it a sanitation lapse, tainted raw celery, or something else entirely? These mistakes matter because produce recalls aren't as rare as many people think. And when food like celery goes straight from the bag to your plate, contamination becomes an instant danger. For shoppers, it's an unsettling reminder that even the simplest foods can pose big risks. Prepackaged produce might save time, but incidents like this highlight the importance of improving food safety protocols. The celery scare is just another sign of cracks within the system. 4. Ground beef recall shocks shoppers. Ground beef, the staple of countless American meals, faced a massive recall this May when Walmart pulled over 16,000 pounds of it from shelves. The reason? Dangerous contamination with a harmful strain of E. coli was discovered during routine safety checks. The supplier, Cargill Meat Solutions, found themselves in hot water as Walmart acted fast to ensure none of the tainted meat made its way into more homes. Although no illnesses had been reported at the time, the stakes were too high to ignore. This particular strain of E. coli can lead to severe symptoms like stomach pain, bloody diarrhea, vomiting, and fever. For vulnerable groups like kids, the elderly, and anyone with a weakened immune system, it could even result in life-threatening complications like kidney failure. For Walmart shoppers, this wasn't just any recall. Ground beef is a kitchen essential, used for everything from burgers to tacos to casseroles. When it disappeared, it left shelves empty and families scrambling for alternatives. Many customers turned to different proteins or sought safer meat options elsewhere, but the question lingered in their minds. How could this happen? Incidents like this make people question the safety of their food and the systems designed to protect them. If such a large amount of potentially contaminated meat can reach stores, are the inspections and safety measures enough? The supplier, Cargill, pledged to review its processes and cooperate fully with investigations. But critics argue more needs to be done, not just by meat producers, but also by regulators. The effects rippled across the food industry. Smaller butcher shops saw an increase in customers. Fast food chains monitored their supplies more closely, and meat prices surged in some areas due to sudden demand. Meanwhile, families took on new habits, such as cooking meat more thoroughly, checking labels carefully, and even considering alternatives like chicken or plant-based options. This recall wasn't just about ground beef disappearing. It highlighted vulnerabilities in the food supply chain and underscored the importance of strict safety protocols. 5. Shocking apple juice recall hits hard. Even trusted drinks aren't safe anymore. Martinelli's apple juice, a family favorite for decades, became the center of attention recently when a major recall was announced. Tests revealed something chilling: inorganic arsenic levels higher than what's considered safe. Sold across the country, including at retail giant Walmart, this issue shook shoppers and raised red flags, especially since apple juice is a go-to drink for kids and families. Now you might wonder, what's inorganic arsenic? It's a naturally occurring compound in the environment, but when it enters food or drinks in elevated quantities, it becomes a health hazard. Long-term exposure can lead to developmental issues in children, stomach problems, and even an increased cancer risk. Because of these dangers, strict standards exist. But in this case, the problematic batches somehow made it to store shelves. The company moved fast. They issued a nationwide recall and urged everyone to check their bottles. Clear instructions were given to identify the suspect products through best buy dates and batch numbers. Customers were advised not to drink the juice and instead return or properly dispose of it, even if it seemed fine. What really rattled parents is how widespread this recall was. It wasn't isolated to a few stores or regions. This juice, marketed as a safe, healthy option, could have been sitting in children's lunchboxes or on dinner tables nationwide before the danger was caught. This situation sparked deeper concerns. How does contamination like this happen? Arsenic in juice often comes from apples grown in polluted soil or irrigated with contaminated water. It's not just about the final product, but the entire supply chain, from the orchard to the bottling plant. For Martinelli's, this was a wake-up call. They've promised stricter quality control going forward. For consumers, it's a reminder that awareness matters. Even trusted familiar brands can face surprise issues. Keep an eye on recalls, check labels, and stay vigilant because protecting your family's health starts with staying informed. 6. Tortilla chips mix-up causes alarm. Next on the list is an unexpected snack time fiasco. Tostitos Cantina Traditional Yellow Corn. Tortilla chips, a favorite in countless households, became the subject of a surprising recall. Why? Some bags, labeled as plain tortilla chips, actually contain nacho cheese-flavored chips instead. While that might sound like a win for cheese lovers, it posed a serious danger to people with milk allergies. The issue stemmed from a labeling mix-up. The packaging listed no milk or cheese ingredients, but the mistakenly included nacho cheese chips meant that milk was in the bag. For those with dairy allergies, even a tiny trace of milk can lead to reactions ranging from minor discomfort to life-threatening situations like anaphylaxis. It's easy to see why this mistake caused panic among snackers. What made this recall even more concerning was how subtle the error was. At first glance, the chips looked similar, and the flavor difference wasn't immediately obvious. Someone could eat them without realizing the danger until it was too late. That's why accurate labeling is so critical, especially for products consumed by people of all ages. Frito-Lay quickly issued a voluntary recall, urging customers to check for specific product codes on their packages. They warned those with milk allergies to avoid the chips altogether and offered refunds or replacements. Walmart and other retailers pulled the affected batches from shelves to keep consumers safe. This incident also put a spotlight on the challenges of large-scale food manufacturing. Cross-contamination and packaging mistakes can happen when multiple products are made in the same factory or on shared equipment. A single slip-up can have massive consequences, putting public safety at risk. For families managing food allergies, label accuracy is non-negotiable. Trust in a brand's reliability is essential, and when that trust is shaken, it leaves consumers second-guessing their purchases. Cases like this remind us that what's printed on a bag isn't just information. It's a guarantee of safety. While the recall helped prevent further harm, it also underscored the importance of responsibility in food production. One small mistake can ripple across the entire system. In conclusion, the disappearance of these 6 foods from Walmart shelves highlights the growing instability in supply chains and the challenges faced by both producers and retailers. It serves as a stark reminder of how interconnected our food systems are and how quickly disruptions can impact everyday life. As chaos continues to grow, it is crucial for consumers and companies alike to adapt, prioritize responsibility, and seek long-term solutions to mitigate the effects of these crises. Ensuring transparency, resilience, and vigilance in the supply chain will be key to navigating the uncertain times ahead.